Roula and Ryan show. I'm so excited. We've got an Olympic gold medalist coming in the studio.
Two-time Olympic gold medalist. Christa Williams will be here in about, she'll be on there with us in about 10-ish minutes. Right now we're focusing on your calls and your texts. The text number is 37530. I want to hurry up and read this one before it leaves. And our phone number is 833-390-KRBE. The question is, on Roula's relationship roulette, how many red flags does it take before you bail out? You're like, okay, actually, I just can't pay attention anymore. We joke that Sam here on the show, who is married with a child, in her single days would run towards the red flags and not run away.
Why'd you do that?
Somebody said, hold on, wait, I got to read this text or I'm going to lose it. Said, oh my God, I'm just like Sam. I'm basically the same person. I run red flags too. I've been dating this guy since November. And at the same time I've been dating him, I found out he has a kid. I found out he's still married, even though he said that he was separated and divorced. And now he doesn't want to define our relationship even after his divorce is being finalized. And yet I'm still here.
No.
How many red flags is that? That's a lot of red flags.
How good is this guy in the sack?
Or like,
is he
like providing for you in some way? Is he like super extra hot? You
Sam,
can't
for
be
you,
without him?
did you do it because...
What is it about this guy?
Because it was a challenge?
Probably. It was just fun. I was probably bored or something. I was like, let's just have craziness.
It's better to be with somebody to have a story than with nobody not have stories.
Craziness is sometimes fun.
At that time, you're not looking to settle down. You're just looking to have some fun, right?
Exactly.
And to the texter who said, I found out he has a
flags.
kid. Like, how'd you find out he has a kid? Like somebody texted you or DM'd you on Instagram and said, do you know your boyfriend has a kid? I'm the mom. Or how did you find out?
They're holding hands walking down the street, and then some little kid across the street, Dad.
Oh my God!
Red flag number one: found out he has a kid because the guy didn't tell you.
Right.
Red flag number two: he said he's separated and getting divorced. Oh, but he's still married and not anywhere close to being finalized.
Right there, that's probably the most common red flag that we've heard doing roses all the years. If somebody says that they are going to get divorced, they are not. They are lying through their teeth. You cannot believe them. You cannot trust them. It does not matter how convincing they can look at you with tears in their eyes and say, I'm doing it, I'm doing it. They're lying. They're lying. They're never going to get divorced.
Or it just takes forever.
It takes a long
I'm
time.
going to divorce him.
Well, we're going to go ahead and connect then after the divorce is final.
Come on.
And then how do you prove the divorce is final? Is it like a piece of paper they can show you? Like, how do you...
You can go online and
have
find
that
out if
proof?
somebody's divorced or not.
When
Well,
you hit the button, they hung up.
Dang it.
What'd they say?
I couldn't read it in time. It was something about...
Them liking red flags.
Yeah, the one red flag. It was one red flag, and they dropped after one red flag, but I didn't see what the red flag was. But so one is good.
I can't ask him out because he's answering the phone. So
that means you go on instant reaction.
And the person always talks about their exes. That's not good.
That's a red flag.
That's a red flag,
They're not
right?
over that person then.
Huge red flag.
Even if they're trashing them, they still have so much,
But what if you
emotion.
brought it up, though, to him? Like, so what was, like, your dating past? You throw that, and what do they say? And they say, well, I don't really want to talk about it, because they know it's a red flag if they do talk about it, but now it's a red flag because you don't want to talk about
Right,
it.
so you have to have the happy medium by saying, well, I don't like to harp too much on this person because I wasn't treated well, but just know that it was a mistake in my life. I learned a lot. We dated for about 6 months, or 1 year, 3 years, whatever it was, and just want to move on from that person.
And then don't mention it again.
And then you're like, well, why'd y'all break up? Because he was lying. Tinder Slimmer. Oh, she's back. Noelle's back. Hi, Noelle. Cool. Welcome to the Roula and Ryan Show.
Hey, good morning.
I think accidentally got disconnected. So you said you would, was it only one red flag? What was the one red flag that made you bail on the relationship?
Well, it was actually my daughter, and when I think about it, I had a bunch of red flags when she was talking to him, but the only one she would listen to, there's one that she actually listened to, thank God. But she met him on social media. She had been talking to him for 2-3 months, but he would never FaceTime her. Said that he didn't have Snapchat or whatever. He couldn't FaceTime her.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he couldn't meet her because he traveled for work. He come to Houston, but he lived in Fort Worth, and he said that he worked for CPS, and he would transport kids to Houston, and that's why he was coming to Houston. But he'd get here late, and he couldn't meet her because he was
is that
just
a
so
code
tired.
for sex trafficker?
Right? Like,
No,
what is that?
CPS.
So when you say he was a bunch of kids,
No, I get it, but he's lying. I feel like he's lying.
Blood relative.
I place kids.
Was he lying? Did you find out?
Oh, yeah. So I asked her, I said, have you ever FaceTime him? And she was like, no, he won't. He said he can't or whatever, but we text and we talk all the time. And he has sent me a picture of him, and he's really cute. And I said, okay. Then after about 2 months, he sent her a picture and said, oh, I have some news. I actually have 2 kids I didn't tell you about. He's 26. He's 5 years older than her. And he sent her pictures of these 2 little girls. And I said, okay, this is just getting weird. You ask him to FaceTime. He would not FaceTime. So then he said, okay, well, I'm going to be in Houston on this day. Can you come meet me at my hotel? And I said, wait up. And then he told her, well, to be honest with you, that's not what I look like. And he sent a different picture.
Oh, my God.
Okay, wait. He sent a different picture.
And then?
And then she said, well, and she thank God she tells me this stuff.
Yes.
And I said, okay, you need to ask him for a picture of his driver's license because you're not going nowhere until I look this person up.
Right.
You, Mom.
And
Right.
he would not send it to her. He said, that's weird. And he just ghosted her for like a week.
Oh, yeah.
Then after a week, he called her again and said, hey, I'm going to be in Houston. Come meet me. Oh, he tried to get her to lie to me because she said, what do you mean that's not every guy I've gone out with, has shown my mother the driver's license and they thought it was weird, but they did it because of safety and stuff.
Right,
I mean, we live in the tech capital,
Yep, traffic.
And that's exactly, I'd be terrified that she's, going to walk into a situation where she's kidnapped and trafficked.
So then what was the last straw for her? He just kept fighting the ID thing or just saying, come meet me?
He would not. He tried to get her to lie to me and say, well, just tell your mom, that you're going to a friend's house or something. And she was like, I'm not going to lie to my mom.
I want to punch this guy in the throat.
Yes.
I want to arrest this guy on just
You should have showed up at that
details
hotel.
alone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with cops.
Baseball
with cops.
bats.
That's why I was talking to my older daughter, and I was like, I'm going to follow her if she does, and luckily my older daughter has her location all the time. She's always got the location on. Well, the night that the last time he called her and said, come meet me, she said, no, you won't even let me see your driver's license. I'm not coming. And she told me about it. But that night she was working. And then after work, I was like, oh, my God, what is she going to do? So my daughter called her and said, come on over. And so she, went to spend time with my daughter. And thank God she didn't go. She hasn't heard any more from him. She's
How long ago was that, Noelle?
Is this recent?
Yes, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think it's over yet. This guy's not.
Trafficker.
If he
This
does
guy's
it
not
again,
stopping.
can we go? Can Kevin and I go?
With some cops.
In her
Hold on,
place?
what?
No, you need to go with like law enforcement
Kev's
because
going to
this
wear a
guy,
wig.
Yeah,
I
Kevin
don't
will
know what
be
he's capable
Dressed
of.
up as her daughter.
Kevin can be
And I couldn't-
Kevin be the decoy.
That's the decoy.
You have your back
This is
turned. You have your back
perfect.
turned, Kevin. Then just
Is your daughter a petite girl? Is little, like maybe five?
Looks very young.
Five-ish.
I mean, she's going to pass for under 25. I could probably pull it off. Now we're talking.
you have to shave.
Yeah, you
Oh
gotta
my
take
God,
off the beard.
Noelle! This is to be continued. Make sure your daughter keeps communication open with you, and I hope that you told us this story,
yes.
and all of us agree with you. This guy is totally shifty,
Bad
and we all
news.
think he's a sex trafficker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I think he's a sex trafficker. I
do, too.
absolutely think he's a sex
Yes.
trafficker.
Yeah.
And I would have called the police, but I had absolutely no information on him. None. Zero. And I mean, I'm positive his name he gave her was false.
Yeah.
Wasn't a real name.
And right now, it
So-
doesn't sound like he's committed any crime. He's just doing
He's just-
something unethical.
well-
He's just doing what sex traffickers
Yeah,
do.
they're
Well,
setting
here,
her
just
trap.
lie to your mom
Right.
and tell her this.
He groomed her, and I told her. I said, he's grooming you. That's what
Yep.
he's doing.
Yeah.
And what killed me was her and her older sister went years ago with a youth group to you've talked about them before, where they teach people about sex trafficking and what they do, and they take them, show them around the brothels,
Crime Stoppers?
where they're all at. Right. Well, it wasn't Crime Stoppers; it was a group.
Yeah.
But she went through that class, through that group, so she's learned all this information.
Oh, you're one.
But she had recently gone through 2 breakups, and her esteem was low, and so he groomed her. For 2 months, he groomed her. And had she not said something to me, I probably wouldn't have a clue where my daughter is.
I'm glad you're
Man,
a
listen,
great mom.
Noelle, I'm going to hold on to your number because I kind of have a feeling that maybe your story getting out there, somebody might contact and say, can we talk to Noelle? So is that okay if I share your
called,
number?
Because, yes, that's
Okay.
why I called. Because I wasn't going to, because it's not my story, it's my daughter's. But I thought, there's other young women out there that think this isn't going to happen to me.
And you know what? Anybody that asks you to lie before you've even met them, that is the biggest red flag right there.
And
You got to
listen,
run.
And the biggest compliment to you as a parent is that your daughter continually told you the truth. She trusted you to tell you the details so you could help save her from this man.
You still got to keep watching her, though.
I know.
Yeah.
To be continued.
Right.
See, that
Noelle,
should be
I got
a-
your number
a
up
lesson.
there. Thanks so much for calling the show, okay?
Thank you.
God
Thank
bless you.
Sarah.
Take care.
That needs to be a lesson. This needs to be a discussion that all parents have with their children, especially their daughters, and you've got to worry about that.
Okay, listen, go to the listener line, guys, because I really want to get Christa Williams in here, our 2-time gold medalist. And I know we got some phone calls, but y'all go to the listener line at 713-278-VENT. Chris took him 5 red flags before he dumped this girl. I want to know Chris's story on the listener line.
And tell all 5.
We can reason.
In order.
Tell us all 5 of the red flags. What was the last straw? We're talking about red flags. How many did it take before you get dumped out of a relationship? Because, yes, coming up next, a 2-time gold medalist, Christa Williams, is going to be here. She's in the Texas Sports Hall of Fame. She won in 1996 and in 2000, Atlanta and Sydney with the USA softball team. She called our show for Look at Me Now, and now she's going to be in our studio. We'll meet her next on the Roula and Ryan Show.
It's KRB with more of the Roula and Ryan Show.
All right, we're going to get a behind-the-scenes look at what it is like to
Right
be
now.
an Olympian.
Right now, my friends, everyone's obsessed with the Summer Games happening with the Olympics. The 33rd Olympiad is happening in Paris, France right now, and you can't escape all the excitement as the USA women's won gold as a team. Now Simone Biles and all the girls are going to go for individual gold medals of their own. We've got Katie Ledecky, who tied the record for the most gold medals
She's
swimming.
amazing.
And we've always been enamored by the Olympics in some way, shape, or form. There are many Houstonians who have been part of the Olympics. And months ago, we were doing the regular segment on the Roula and Ryan Show that we always do every week called Look at Me Now. Look at Me Now is where you call us and tell us somebody told you something that's you're never going to succeed. You're not smart enough to graduate high school. You're never going to go to college. Things like that.
Maybe we had somebody who was in prison.
Yeah, somebody was in
got out, they're like,
prison.
you'll be a loser the rest of your life.
You
And now they're like a
overcame
CEO.
an obstacle.
Right. So in that segment, Christa calls up our show, and she told us that when she was younger, she was told she's not going to be that great at softball, and she won not 1 but 2 gold medals in the Olympics. We're like, what?
I would find that
Christa
coach,
Williams, what?
walk around with those gold medals by their house every day.
Right. So Christa Williams is here, and before I officially introduce her, let me tell you about her background. She has won state, check the box.
Woo!
College World Series, check the box.
Easy.
Texas Sports Hall of Fame, check the box.
problem.
Not 1 but 2 gold medals, check the box.
Wow.
And she's an amazing human all around, I can tell. Christa Williams, welcome to the Roulette Ryan Show.
Thanks for having me.
That is amazing. I am so happy to meet you.
Same here.
Thanks so much.
So the next question I want to ask you is what was that one thing that motivated you to pursue your dream?
Well, I was real blessed and I had a great family. My dad was amazing, but I just always wanted to be the best at playing it. I love the sport. And then I knew I wanted to be in the Olympics, actually, when I saw Mary Lou Retton hit her perfect 10 vault.
Yeah.
And that was what did it.
How old are you, Christa, when you were told, retell that bit of the story with Look at Me Now. You were 13 or 12?
Yes, I was about 12 years old.
Okay,
Okay.
playing softball or
Playing
trying out?
softball. I was trying out for a huge team here in Houston, and that was my goal. They were 18 and under, but my dad thought I was good enough. And I tried out. I didn't make it. He told me I wasn't going to
That
make
coach
it.
of
Yes,
that team.
that coach of that team.
Why did he say you wouldn't make it?
He just didn't see the qualities that he thought that were going to make it big in the sport later on, and that's what he saw. So,
Wow.
And that's what motivated you to try again? Or
well, at
I would've
first it
been
kind
like-
of crushed me
Yeah,
because
defeated.
yeah.
you know,
As a
and
kid.
that's,
Sure.
yeah, that's where my dad picked me up, and he's like, "We're just gonna work harder, and we're gonna show him. We're gonna prove him wrong." So I was like, "Okay, Dad."
So did you get like a private coach, Christa, or what did your dad do to help you get better at softball?
No, well, I mean, he was my catcher, and I think I broke every finger and toe that he ever had.
Because you were pitching.
Yes, I wasn't very accurate all the time, but so I threw really hard, and unfortunately I would hurt him.
Oh my gosh.
But we learned a lot by watching. In fact, we learned one of my pitches by watching an MLB two-seam, and he was describing how he was throwing it.
Wow.
So my dad just reversed it, and we started learning how to throw it underhand.
I think about what you were learning back then. It was like VHS tapes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
how
it
to play
wasn't like
softball, how to
YouTube.
play sports.
You'd
There
have
was
to
no YouTube.
rewind.
Yeah, it's totally different. Like, I wish I would have grown up in this time with
Yeah.
the
Instant.
iPhones and the video, the instant feedback, but I didn't have that. But I was blessed. I had my dad as a coach, and I had several coaches along the way that helped me. I didn't have just one.
So the next step was you tried out again for that same 18 under team, or it was like a school team you were on?
No, I tried out for a different team, made that team, and then
Okay.
we played them that year and beat them. So
And
that
you
was
were
nice.
the pitcher for that team. That's nice.
How do you get from
Yeah.
that to being in the Olympics? Like, at what point did you start training to be in the Olympics?
My
Or was
dad,
that a college thing, too?
It was just, no, I made it when I was in high school.
Okay.
My dad just knew. My dad he sent in an application and without me knowing, and then I ended
An
up
application to what?
USA softball.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you
USA
joined the team to be in
The
Atlanta?
first team that I ever made with the U.S. team, I was 15 years of age.
Wow.
15, and these girls
Yes.
are
34 was my first teammate that I had.
Oh,
She
my
was
gosh.
Dot Richardson and Sheila Dowdy. Yeah.
Oh my!
So you're a
God.
15-year-old pitching a 30. You said 34-year-old.
Some of them were
women.
older, but yes.
So you make the
Wow.
U.S. team at 15. How old were you at the Atlanta Olympics in '96?
So I was officially 18 at that time.
You were officially
Oh,
18 at that time. So you make it to the to the Olympics. I mean, we could go like a whole entire hour of raw feed with you on the whole process of both Olympics. But you find out like the U.S. team has qualified, right? There's a whole qualification process to that just to make it to Atlanta. And then when you got there, how many games did you play?
did you pitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did pitch. I came in against a couple of teams and I started one game, 96. So I was sort of fairly young, clearly. So I had other teammates that were much older and much more seasoned and actually much better at that time. So
Did they cheer you on? Were they?
Oh, yeah, they were
helpful?
amazing.
There was no animosity, no jealousy, or anything like
no,
that.
not with them. I mean, I think it's kind of common, right? Everybody wants to be at that. That's the pinnacle of the sport.
Of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
So I think you're always going to find a little bit of that. But my teammates were amazing during that
What
entire
was the other
time.
pitcher? Jenny Finch?
She was past my time.
Past the
Like
time?
she's
Okay.
younger. I'm old.
No, you're not.
If you're just tuning into the Roula and Ryan show, we have Christa Williams live in studio. She is a mom. She's a Houstonian, but she's also remarkable because she's a 2-time gold medalist for the Olympics, Texas Sports Hall of Fame. You have won state. You have won the College World Series. You have done so much, and you've done everything in the sport you can do for women's softball. And now what do you do? People are like, what does she do now?
Yeah, what do you do
now, Christa Williams?
Well, I'm the head coach at Kingwood High School. This is my second year there.
That's
and
awesome.
I was super
fantastic.
fortunate and blessed. Our team ended up going to state the first year that I was there. We didn't win it, but it was a huge feat because Houston is just so deep with talent. So
Hey, I
pleased
feel
with
pretty
them.
good if my
Yeah.
kid's being coached by a 2-time Olympic winner.
Absolutely.
So when y'all win the gold, I mean, there's so many things I want to ask you about first and second. So the 1996, you get to the gold medal game. Who'd y'all play? What country?
We played China.
Okay, so what was the score? Do you remember the score? I would think this is a core memory, but it's been a long time. You've had 2 Olympic medals.
I don't
But anyway, was it
remember.
by a lot or was
No,
it really close?
It was really close.
Okay, so y'all
Remember,
win
there's
the
just
gold
one
medal.
game. It's not like best
Oh, it's not a
3 out of
series?
5.
No.
It's not a series.
Oh.
No, it's one game and you're out.
You might
So-
have an off day that day.
Tell us what it's like, because we always feel the emotion. We watch anybody on the podium hearing the national anthem for our country when they win gold. What is it actually like to be the person on the podium, Christa?
So it's it's really hard. Like, you know, when you have your first child, like
Yeah.
you have your child and you're just overcome with emotion. It's like the only thing that competes with that feeling. It's just
Wow.
unbelievable. And you just feel all the gratitude of all the hard work, all the thankfulness to everybody that's ever helped you get there. And then, of course, like you're in ours. I was blessed. We were in our own country.
Yes.
So you're
yeah.
just like,
You won on U.S. soil a
Yes.
gold medal
So,
in your country.
yeah.
Wait, was this the Atlanta where we had the bombing?
yes, it was.
Well, there was not only one.
No, I understand, but the Atlanta bombing, I mean, was this
Yeah.
before or after you had won?
The bombing happened before. It was right after
Okay.
the opening ceremony.
That's scary.
Yeah,
But-
that's a
But you
really-
said the opening
it's crazy.
ceremonies, we were talking off air, because that's when Muhammad Ali came out and
Yes.
surprised everybody. You said that was
Holding the torch.
incredible going out there.
It was amazing. You're talking about 2 totally different environments. Atlanta, you're on your home soil and everybody's chanting USA and they're all your best friends.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, and so you just are. It's just overwhelming.
You still have those outfits? Because every year
Yes,
they all
I
have to
do.
wear a...
Oh, you
Different
kept
USA
them?
outfit.
Yes, I do.
I
still
don't
have
blame
them.
you.
We were moving, and my kids got to see them for the first time.
Aw.
Yeah. But it's just overwhelming, and even to see these young athletes get their podium and their award winning, or even if they just miss,
Oh, yeah.
like you just feel all of that still every single time you see them. You experience all that joy and all the hard work because you know how hard it is. It's just so overwhelming.
You've got a
about the
completely
second
different
time?
perspective watching the Olympics.
Yeah, so you won on our soil. Now
Now you're in
4 years later,
Australia, which we have a big rivalry with Australia.
Oh, yeah.
U.S. and Australia rivals in swimming, a lot of things. Australia does not like hearing the USA anthem when it's the Olympics. So how did it feel winning in Sydney?
yeah, you went from being loved to all of a sudden booed.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you're going on hostile territory, and for us, for America, we kind of marched our own drummer. I mean, it's you go into these holding arenas, which are huge. It's like a whole football stadium, and over half of it is the American delegation.
Wow.
So when you're sitting there, you're just kind of beating your own thing, and then the next thing you know, Australians had thrown their kangaroos over in our delegation and done their chair, the Aussie chair.
wow.
And we didn't take too kindly to it. So Drummond, who I actually ironically ran into the induction ceremony, we talked about this moment, and he was like, we're going to do a cheer, and you're going to be the U, and you're going to be the S, and you're going to be the A, and when I point, you're going to stand up, and I'm going to point again. And I tell you what, that whole football stadium went dead silent when we stood up, and I was like, this is cool. Because it was like, you realize you have that power. You have a platform at that time. Even if it was something silly as that moment.
Like a USA.
But before you perform,
amazing.
before you're actually, do they sequester you, keep you separated from people? What are the rules when you're an Olympian?
In the village?
Yeah, so in 96, we were in Columbus. So we were only with softball delegation. So it's totally different. And in 2000, we were with everybody.
Oh, nice.
So that was a completely different event. And it was crazy in that village because it's busy. Everybody's moving around. It's buzzing. But then you get some camaraderie, and that's what was cool. Like whenever we'd go out, we saw the baseball with Tommy Lasorda and him coming out, and he brought the baseball team out to support us. And it was just a really neat
Because everyone's an athlete.
moment. Yes,
For
and
the
everybody's
USA.
sharing.
What's the food like in there? Because I've pictured like all broccoli and carrots.
It's the healthiest vegetarian in the world.
No joke, 96?
Upgraded.
No,
Yeah.
2000.
Yeah.
Definitely
2000.
probably is
Yeah, a little bit
healthier now.
different.
Yeah.
Who did y'all play for the gold medal in Sydney?
In Sydney, we played Japan.
Okay. Was it close then, too?
We won by 1 run in the last inning with an outfielder missing the ball with rain.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Well, that person has to feel like
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're
Their
just
whole
tuning
life,
into the Roula and Ryan
that'd
show,
be
again, let me reset that. We reintroduce that. We have Christa Williams in studio. She is a Houstonian. She is a mom, but she's also a 2-time gold winning medalist for softball, USA softball. You have done everything there is to do when it comes to the sport, and it all started when she was 13, and a coach told her, you're probably not cut out for softball, and her dad motivated her to become what she has become. So she called our show, and we invited her here, and we are seeing her gold medals
Could you
for
show
the first time.
Because
Can
we're
you show
recording
them?
this. Could you put it up to this?
Hold it up to the camera.
That camera right there is recording you.
Look at those things.
That's the
That's
Sydney
so
one,
cool.
the 2000 Sydney, and they're heavy, guys.
I gotta
Yeah,
feel
they'll knock
it.
you
Let me
out.
feel it.
It's a
What are
weapon.
your daughter Callie is here, and she's 12 years old. Can I ask her a question, if I may? Callie, what do you think about your mom? Like, do you tell your friends, hey, my mom has 2 gold medals? Like, tell me how you process this, that your mom is
I've been
an
doing that every
Olympian.
day.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Sometimes I talk about it, but I try not to because I don't want to make them feel bad.
Yeah, because your mom is so amazing.
That's true. I don't blame you.
How many kiddos do you have, Christa? You have 2. So when do you bring this up to your children, Christa? Like, oh, do y'all know mommy did this? Like,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
how
I
old
was in the
Callie watching
Olympics,
this? Oh,
and I
mommy
won
did
the
this.
gold
You want to see my
twice.
medals? Like, where do these live in your house? Like, do you walk around sometimes when you're feeling like I'm a mom?
I've
I'm
had
a
that
gold
on all the
medal
time.
mom.
I've never taken it off.
How did you present this to your children to make them understand mommy has done this?
I really don't talk about it, to be fair.
No.
I want them to have their own life and their own identity. So
Yeah.
I try not to do that.
But it's a fact
can't avoid
about
it, right?
you. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
fact
Yeah.
about you just to tell them, hey, by the way, mommy was really good at softball, and here's what I got.
But I understand that you're trying not to overshadow them.
Correct. And they know because they play softball, so they can't escape it. They can't get away from it. But we talk about it when it's on. Like right now it's on the Olympics, and we talk just in general, but we really don't talk about this event. Unless they ask me questions, then I'll talk
Speaking
to
of
them
family, how
about
about your dad? Was your dad able to see you win the gold?
Yes, he was.
He was there.
So he's in
Now,
Atlanta. Did he go to Sydney too?
They went to both. I was fortunate enough to win some tickets to Sydney, so they were able to go, and they were able to be a part of that.
But that feeling was great for him. He's the first one that believed in you.
Yes, and it's
awesome.
amazing. And it's funny though. You hear stories from people. My mom, when I went into pitch, she was so nervous she left stadium. I said, "What's the point in going?"
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then my dad, he would start pacing. So it's just and they're still very much a part of my life. They come watch me in all my events that I coach and stuff like that. So I'm just very blessed.
That's fantastic
Yeah.
that you got your family to support you. What were the emotions when I'm looking at that gold medal, both those gold medals right now, when that was placed on you? What were you feeling at that moment?
Just pride. It's a very emotional. Even now, I think about it. It's very emotional. You start talking, you cry about it. It's overwhelming. Just you're representing everybody. You're representing all the kids that ever had that dream of becoming that. representing the kids that thought they couldn't do it. You know, all those things. Like,
and it's the culmination of how many years?
Yeah, all these years and just tons of years, and then just lots of hard work, failure. That's such a big part, right? You learn more from your failures.
And you become, the fact that you made it that far, like Sam played college soccer, Sam?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask you real quick, Christa. So I felt like, obviously, I'm not at any level of what you are, but I played like on 3 travel soccer teams at one time. And you know the dedication, missing certain events, my family going to all of these practices. And then when I got into college, I got hurt and I stopped playing. And I felt like that was my identity. Yes. My identity was playing this sport. And when I stopped, I felt like I lost myself. And so with you being an Olympian, and then, you know, I'm assuming you don't play anymore, or maybe you do pick up.
It's like a mom league.
Do you have? Was it hard for you to adjust your lifestyle? Because I know, like right now, my brother is a senior in college and he's playing soccer, and then it's like trying to kind of tell him, like, hey, you're not losing yourself. Like, this sport doesn't make you who you are. Yeah, it doesn't define you. Do you have any advice on that, since you've gone to like the highest part to kind of not going back down, but you know what I mean? Like, it's a different lifestyle now.
It's very different, and I try and tell even my own children, and it's hard as it is, because now they play year round all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And trying to have a life outside of it, so that way whenever you do get done, you do have something to fall back on besides just your education that you've earned.
Did you know when you were done?
Oh no, I knew. I knew.
You knew it was time.
My body couldn't handle it anymore, and I was just old.
Exhausted. Christa Williams, we're going to talk to you. It is really an honor. I mean, I'm like almost so emotional. I almost was in tears, just like thinking about the moments you've had.
I want to watch like you guys win it on YouTube. I'm sure it's there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, everything.
See you guys up on the podium.
Excellent. And we're going to take pictures with Christa's gold medals behind the scenes. Don't you think we're not going to? You can follow all of us.
You have to earn it to put it around your neck.
That's right. You have to follow us on KRBE, so you can see all this on our digital later, so you can actually see Christa with the gold medals.
When you won it?
Did they make you bite it?
A little bit.
Did they tell you have to? Everyone takes that picture.
You think there's chocolate in there?
Yeah. By the way, it's 92.5% silver. It's plated in gold.
Oh, okay.
That's what we had looked that up. That stat, I think, the last time, but I wanted to bring it back up. It's very heavy. It is very heavy. Bravo, Christa!
Thank you for stopping in.
Thank you for having me.
That was excellent. We'll be right back on the Rule and Ryan Show.
Is Roula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop
on KRBE.
It is brought to you by Taqueria Arandas, and just a couple of notes of all the fun experiences that KRBE is bringing to you. We had already announced that Post Malone's going to be here October 22nd at Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion, and the tickets go on sale on Friday, but we've been giving away tickets to you guys at 9 a.m., noon, and 3 p.m. Well, yesterday he announced he's going to do a second show at the Woodlands.
All right.
So these tickets go on sale on Friday for both shows now, October 22nd and October 23rd. You can buy your tickets if you want, just to know that you have them, or you can, of course, continue winning with us. We have many, many chances for that. We also have chances for Gold Over America, featuring Simone Biles and other world-class gymnasts who are going to come to the Toyota Center. We gave away those tickets yesterday for the Rapid Fire Quiz. We have more of those to come, because very, very commonly after an Olympics, these tours, I mean, everyone's so obsessed with the Olympics. We're all like drinking the Kool-Aid. We're like, I got to have more. I got to have more.
Did they do like a softball tour?
Let's ask her. Christa, get back on Sam's mic over here. We're going to ask you real quick. Christa Williams is still here. She's two-time gold medal.
They get you guys on a bus and just tour.
They did before, and they did one after in the '96 games.
Oh, cool. Were you toured America?
The softball wasn't as big as it is now, or is it just a Texas thing? That's
so you got
Wait, did you get to go to Disney World? Was
Yes.
it one of those things like, we just won the gold medal, we're going to Disneyland? Did you do one of those?
We did.
Oh, how fun.
You go all over the place, so it's whatever they want. And they always take us out to the White House after.
Oh, wow.
So that's fun.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, thank you for representing the USA.
Right.
you.
And
That's so
one
cool.
other quick question I just thought of. You get any money for this? Like, they pay you like a per diem or something?
Yeah, when you win a
these
gold, or
tours?
do you
win
get
any
money
money for winning
Not
gold?
near as much as they do get paid now. But
Oh,
back then
okay.
there was a little bit, yes.
And do they, once you win, do you have to leave the Olympic Village?
Yes, we did have to leave the Olympic Village.
Wow.
But what about the closing ceremony? Because they want all the athletes there for the end.
Yeah, we weren't allowed. We didn't get to stay for that, and if we did, we had to like pay some type of difference for that. That was back then. That may have changed now.
May have changed now.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really something
Hopefully, they
else.
had real beds. Now they're sleeping on cardboard or something.
The cardboard
Yeah.
beds.
Cots.
Yes, Chris, I was saying yesterday that I started following I thought he was a high jumper, but he's doing everything. He's What is he, Sam? He's a pole vaulter. And so he has been showing the Olympic Village right now in Paris and about the food and the free swag they get. They get phones, they get clothes. Did you get any swag when you were an Olympian?
So before we went to the Olympics, like right before, you have to go into like an area where all the athletes go in, and you have to go through each little station, and there's like UGG like sandals and boots and all kinds of stuff that you'd get at that time.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know UGG was around back then.
Yeah, no, I know. That's how old I am.
Did you get Coca-Cola products? Did you get like Coca-Cola?
Was it all Coca-Cola?
Yes, we had Coca-Cola pins and like the little polar bear thing that they had and still do.
How about in Sydney? Did they do something equal like that in Sydney?
Every Olympics we did.
Boomerang.
What was really cool about Sydney?
Boomerang.
Yeah.
What was really cool
that.
They had like when you were there, I swear all of us went most of the time. Instead of eating in the village, we went to AT&T, had a booth there, and they had these huge prawns and all kinds of stuff that people could eat there. That was really nice.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of like time hogging in the gym? Like, I have to get in the gym. Like, all these Olympians have to train.
But it hurt your arm, though,
train?
right?
No, I mean, we didn't really do that once we were there because we were playing, like, softball was pretty, like, spread out throughout the time. And you start playing, like, pretty immediate for us both times.
Your arm would be worn out.
Well, I just thought maybe like to do like running or treadmill or something to keep you.
Do they clock your speed? Like as far as what was your fastest pitch?
74.
Underhand.
Underhand, which is like equivalent to like 108.
That's what I thought.
Baseball.
That's unbelievable, Christa. That's cool. So are you watching the Olympics like we are watching the Olympics? Or are you kind of like, well, I've been there, so I'm not really, I don't know. How do you process?
I've always been a fan of like gymnastics, and then of course the swimming. So like my favorite ever was the relay when the Michael Phelps, like they came from behind, they barely won.
Yeah.
I was like screaming at the TV and like everybody else was, I'm sure, from America, but watching those types of things, I love that stuff.
One question from text for you at 37530. Where is that coach now that told Christa she didn't have what it takes to play softball? How did that coach feel after he found out you won gold medals in the Olympics?
I have no idea. I've never really spoken to them since. I mean,
he probably doesn't remember it. That's the most insulting part.
That's the best way to live life.
Yeah.
You know, not that you want to like go back and say ha ha. It's just to don't even let them occupy space in your head.
Yes, and
but it's interesting to see if you ever came across, because it's nice if maybe he had sought you out. I thought maybe that could be a story.
No,
nothing.
No, not at all. And I've just like we've all learned. I mean, it's just not worth it. At the end of the day, you're at the one that's laughing and
live in the moment, and
enjoying the moment that you have.
Right.
And
so amazing. So amazing.
Providing motivation.
That's great. So you can follow us at KRVE, all socials, because Christa has been gracious enough to let us wear her medals, take pictures with her medals.
No, you did. I wasn't going to do that.
We're like,
no way.
She told me, Christa, defend me. She told me I could wear them. She told me, because I said, is that offensive to ask to wear that or put that on?
I'm like, I'm not doing that.
But Christa put them on me. We have video of that. It is exciting. I love it. Thank you, Christa.
that was going to go around. Look at I won some medals.
I'm not going to say that, Eric. Like, I'm going to post that picture. You think in real life, I'm going to post it. Hey, guess what, guys? I'm also
parlay that into something. I'm posting it.
No, you are not going to put on there, Aaron, that I won those medals.
But then Photoshop her in other places, like she's trying to get into places.
Yeah. No, don't you know who I am?
I'll go to the White House.
At least you're broadcasting your sabotage, so I have proof you're setting me up. Okay, if you missed what happened on Roula and Ryan's Roses today, my God, talk about sabotage. This is crazy. She's engaged for 3 weeks, and the man won't tell anyone they're engaged. What we found out as to why he won't share the news is stunning. You'll hear it next on the Roula and Ryan Show.